Greetings and welcome to our weekly devotionals, where we're taking a look at one of the lectionary readings for this upcoming Sunday and offering a few thoughts for reflection. When I was growing up in the church, I think that I was always kind of had this guilt complex, this inferiority complex. I always felt like I was doing something wrong. You know, if I did something wrong, I committed what I thought was a sin. If I had a impure thought in my head, I remember I had this habit of, every time I did something I was ashamed of, I would look skyward and say, sorry, God, sorry. I apologized a lot when I was a kid, and I'm still doing it. When I'm in traffic on Route 33 or 22, I say, sorry, God, a lot. So I had this notion that, I always had to put my best foot forward, my best image before God. Obviously, I never read through the Psalms of Lament when I was a kid. That section of the Psalms where the writer, argues with God, screams at God, expresses anger to God, pleads with God, basically lays the emotions bare before God. And Jacob has his own version of that in this story, as we hear. Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until daybreak. And when the man saw that he did not prevail against Jacob, he struck him on the hip socket, and Jacob's hip was put out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, "Let me go, for the day is breaking." Jacob wrestles with, most scholars say this is God, an angel, a messenger of God. But Jacob struggles and wrestles with God. And then in the end, God even blesses him for it. And I think that this is it's a good lesson for me, and maybe for all of us as well. Of course, we like to be at our best, but there are times when we struggle, when we have to express those emotions. And I think the church is supposed to be a place where we can express those emotions to and for one another. And I think that struggling, that wrestling with God and with one another, it shows that we care. It shows that we care enough about our relationships with God and with others that we invest emotionally in those relationships. So go ahead and wrestle with God. And God, if I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry. Amen.